Welcome to this explainer. Okay, grab your magnifying glasses because today we are officially putting on our detective hats. Our mission? We're hunting down, identifying, and completely eliminating those phantom charges and untraceable subscriptions that just quietly drain your bank account month after month. If you've ever looked at your balance and felt like your money's just, vanishing into thin air, you are in exactly the right place. Let's dive right in.
So picture this. It's an incredibly frustrating but super common real-world scenario. You're staring at your monthly credit card statement, right? And smack in the middle is this totally cryptic 12-letter charge. You have absolutely no idea what the name is. You definitely don't remember buying anything on that date. So you go online to cancel it, and literally nothing. You can't find a way to cancel it because you don't even know who on earth is charging you. It's a massive friction point, and honestly, it causes so much unnecessary stress and wasted money.
To understand why this actually happens, we have to introduce the villain of our story. See, this isn't an accident. It's a deceptive design pattern known in the industry as a roach motel. Yep, it sounds gross, but it's totally accurate. In a roach motel setup, signing up for a free trial or service is completely friction-free. It's often just a single, lightning-fast click. But trying to leave? Well, that is intentionally designed to be highly complex, agonizingly time-consuming, and just completely obscure. Think about those gyms that let you sign up instantly on an app, but actually force you to send certified mail to cancel. Or digital services that hide their cancellation buttons so well that you literally have to call customer service and sit on hold forever. Basically, they're exploiting our cognitive biases to trap us in what's called forced continuity.
But don't worry, we've got a roadmap to get you out. In this explainer, we'll go over 1. Understanding hidden subscriptions, 2. Tracking tools and resources, 3. Direct cancellation approaches, 4. Alternative cancellation strategies, and finally, 5. Prevention tips, and a quick disclaimer.
All right, let's start with Section 1, Understanding Hidden Subscriptions, Decoding the Clues.
So here's the thing. These mystery charges aren't magic, right? They leave behind metadata clues. We can actually decode them by treating this like a true forensic investigation. When you see a billing descriptor that you don't recognize, your first step is exact match indexing. Just Google that exact alphanumeric string, throw it inside quotation marks, and see if other consumers have complained about it or identified it on forums. Your second step is corporate entity verification. Sometimes the name on your statement is just a parent holding company, like XYZ Holdings or something similar. You can cross-reference that prefix with state corporate registries to figure out what the actual brand is. Third, we look at MCC extraction, or the merchant category code. Every merchant gets this 4-digit code. By checking your advanced banking portal for it, you can narrow down if this mystery charge is from a restaurant, a software company, or maybe a fitness center. And finally, ARN utilization. ARN stands for Acquirer Reference Number, which is a 23-digit identifier assigned by your bank. If a merchant ever tries to claim they can't find your account, just give them that ARN. It literally forces their payment processor to locate the exact customer record linked to that specific charge. No more excuses.
But a lot of this investigation actually happens right in your very own digital footprint. We like to call this household forensics. First, head over to your email and search for the exact transaction amount. And I mean exactly, including the cents. You'd be surprised how often a forgotten digital invoice will just pop right up. And definitely check your spam and junk folders too. Automated billing notices get caught in there all the time. Also, just ask around, consult your authorized users and family members. That mystery charge might literally just be an App Store subscription that your partner completely forgot to mention. Oh, and one more thing, remember that transaction post dates often lag. So compare those statement post dates with weekend purchases. A charge that shows up on a Tuesday might actually be a purchase you made over the weekend, so always look back about 72 hours.
Moving right along to Section 2, Tracking Tools and Resources, Hunting in the Wild.
Let's talk about where these untraceable subscriptions actually live. A ton of them don't even appear in standard web portals because they're processed through third-party digital wallets or device ecosystems. You really have to systematically audit these specific menus. If you live in the Apple ecosystem, grab your iPhone, go into your settings, tap your Apple ID right at the top, and then hit Subscriptions. On Android, it's pretty similar. Open Settings, go to your Google account, and then Payments and Subscriptions. For PayPal, you'll want to dive into your account settings and specifically look for automatic payments. Honestly, more often than not, you're going to find the culprit hiding right there in plain sight, and you can just cancel it with a single tap. Now, what if the digital wallet audit totally comes up empty? Well, here's an insider tip. It is time to bring in the external tracking tools. Subscription management apps, think Rocket Money or Trim, can connect directly to your accounts and systematically uncover recurring payments that you might have completely missed. You should also check for bank-specific tracking features. For example, Chase Custom Alerts can actually flag recurring charges before they even post to your account.
And for those seriously tough cryptic billing codes that just won't budge. There are specialized registry databases, like Brex's Charge Finder, that can actually help you crowdsource the identity of the merchant.
Now for Section 3, direct cancellation approaches, the confrontation.
So we've done all the investigation. Now it's time to force the company to actually terminate the agreement. And this brings us to some genuinely fantastic news for consumers. Enter the new Federal Trade Commission click-to-cancel rule, which officially goes into effect in May 2025. This is an absolute game changer. It applies nationwide to both B2B and B2C transactions. Basically, it legally requires companies to get unambiguous, affirmative consent for auto-renewals, so say goodbye to those sneaky pre-filled checkboxes. Most importantly, it mandates that the cancellation method has to be exactly as easy as the sign-up method. If you signed up online with one click, they absolutely must offer a simple click-to-cancel mechanism. Because of this massive shift, over 99% of older B2B auto-renewals are practically unenforceable as they're currently written. But, hey, what happens when the online portal still fails you? Or maybe you're stuck dealing with an older, stubborn contract. That's when you send a formal cancellation notice. The language here needs to be incredibly firm and legally sound. Check out this snippet. I am writing to formally request the immediate cancellation of my subscription. I do not authorize any further charges to my payment method after the effective date. Using language like this cuts right through the noise. It establishes a clear, undeniable boundary that they just can't ignore. Let's break down exactly how you execute this cancellation notice. First up, gather your metadata. That means getting your account details, the last 4 digits of your card, and that 23-digit ARN we talked about earlier. Step 2, draft your notice using a formal template like the one we just went over. Step 3, and listen, this is absolutely critical, send it via a trackable method. If you're using email, BCC yourself so you have a concrete, time-stamped copy. If you're going old school with physical mail, use certified mail. You literally must maintain solid proof of the exact date you requested the cancellation. And finally, step 4. Explicitly demand written confirmation of your final billing. Just handing a form across a gym counter with no receipt? Yeah, that is not proof of anything. Which brings us to Section 4, Alternative Cancellation Strategies, Escaping the Loop.
Let's be real. Sometimes merchants just play dirty. They ignore emails or use super sneaky tactics to keep you on the hook. So here is your backup plan. I want you to burn this number into your memory, 40%. According to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, a staggering 40% of subscription cancellations fail simply because consumers do not follow up on confirmation. Merchants love to use this tactic called a soft decline. Basically, when you attempt to cancel, they conveniently fail to process it in time, and then they just quietly retry the charge the next month, crossing their fingers that you aren't paying attention. A single phone call is just not enough anymore. You absolutely must monitor your statement for at least 2 billing cycles after you cancel to make sure they actually stopped.
If a merchant is completely unresponsive or they hit you with one of those annoying soft declines, it is time for some escalation tactics directly with your bank. First, you can just dispute the charge with your bank or credit card issuer, especially since you now have proof of your trackable cancellation request. You can also request a temporary merchant block on your card to stop that specific company dead in its tracks. For those really stubborn, deeply embedded recurring payments, you might need to submit an ACH revocation or use a service like the Visa Stop Payment Service request. And look, while it can definitely disrupt your other legitimate payments, as an absolute last resort, we're talking the nuclear option here. You can just cancel the card entirely and request a new one to permanently sever the tie. Finally, let's head into Section 5, Prevention Tips and Disclaimer, Armor Plating Your Wallet.
Now that we actually know how to escape the Roach Motel, let's make sure we never accidentally check into one again. Let's compare your defenses. A standard debit card leaves you pretty vulnerable. It's totally susceptible to exposed card details, duplicate charges, and forced recurring billing that is just a nightmare to stop. But a virtual card, now that is the ultimate defense. Services like Privacy.com let you create a virtual card number that is permanently locked to a single merchant. So if they ever get breached, your real banking info is totally safe. And the best part, if a subscription is playing hard to get when you try to cancel, you can just instantly pause or close the virtual card with one click. The merchant simply cannot charge you anymore. Problem solved.
Beyond using virtual cards, you really need to practice some proactive maintenance. You've got to treat your subscriptions like a personal business. So whenever you start a free trial, just do yourself a favor and immediately set a calendar reminder for a few days before it ends. Next, build a personal budget that has a strict maximum allowance for subscriptions.
Make a habit to sit down and audit your credit card statements and invoices every single month. Don't let those tiny weird charges slide, because fraudsters love to test the waters with small amounts. Lastly, just maintain detailed records of your start dates and exactly which payment method you used. It'll save you so much headache later.
Now, just a quick professional disclaimer before we wrap things up. The information provided in this explainer is for general educational guidance only, and it absolutely does not constitute formal legal or financial advice. If you happen to be dealing with any super complex billing disputes or trying to navigate a tricky legal contract termination, we really highly encourage you to seek advice from a certified financial professional or legal counsel.
So, I'm going to leave you with this one final thought. If you logged into your bank account and audited your statement, right this second, how much of your money is being quietly drained away by subscriptions you forgot you even had? Seriously, don't let these roach motels win. Take back control, become a financial detective, and put those phantom charges to rest once and for all. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy hunting.